Good morning, Uptown Kids. I'm your host, Katie Lynn, and I just wanted to welcome each and every single one of you to church this morning. We had an amazing time last week, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us today. I gotta ask, before we get started, are you guys excited? I can't hear you. Are you guys excited?
Yes!
Did you hear that? That sounds like Beacon. Beacon? What are you doing here? I thought you were gonna surprise the kids later.
I know, I just got so excited. I couldn't wait. Hi, kids.
Well, Beacon, since you're here, why don't you just tell us where we're headed next?
We're going to sing one of my favorite songs, This Little Light of Mine. Get it? Because I'm a little light. But I'm going to need help with the actions because I don't have any hands.
Can you help Bacon with his actions? All right, let's head on over to Talia. Church starts now.
Good morning, boys and girls. I'm so excited to be back with you again to do some worship with you. If you were here last week, you would have done this first song with us. You would have learned the actions. But if not, that's okay. I'm going to go over them really quickly before we start. So, like Beacon said, we're going to be doing This Little Light of Mine. It's going to be kind of our theme song over the next couple of weeks because we really want to get the point of we're going to let our light shine. So when the world seems dark, when it seems scary, we are God's lights and we're going to let them shine in our communities and in our houses and in our worlds. So it goes like this. It starts off, this little light, so you got to put your thumb out just like this. I know this isn't really a light, don't worry, but we're going to pretend this is our little light with your thumb. So you can see the flame going and it's kind of flickering and making those flickering noises, so that's your light. So the first verse goes, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Alright, you got that one? Okay, cool. So the next couple verses go super close to that one, but the next one goes, all around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. So like I said last week, we're pretending we're going on a really long walk around our neighborhood and we're saying hi to all of our friends and our neighbors. So we're going all around the neighborhood. And then the last one goes, hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. So like we said last week, we're not gonna let anything hide our little lights. We're gonna be God's light in a dark world, so we're gonna say, hide it under a bushel. No, we don't do that. We let our lights shine. And then we go right back to the beginning. This little light of mine. You got that? You got it? Do you guys have it? Should we get started? Alright, let's try it all together, okay? This little light of mine. Ready? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Alright, this little light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Awesome job, you guys. You did such a great job. You're going to be a pro at this song. You're going to be better than I am by next week. So Don't go anywhere. We're going to do another song at the end. We'll see you then.
Every week, we're going to focus on a new verse to memorize. This week, we're going to the very first verse in the Bible. Do you know it? It's Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, I've got some actions to help us remember. Repeat after me. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. All right, let's try that one more time. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Great job, you guys. We'll do that one more time at the very end, but let's head on over to Rebecca and hear the whole story of God's creation.
Thanks, Katie Lynn. Hey, kiddos. Man, it was so good to hear you singing and watch you dancing along to the actions. My friend Beacon asked me if I could read to you about the world God made. Are you guys ready to hear a story? Great. Let's get comfy and get reading. The world God made. Once there was no world. There were no people. There were no animals. There were no hills and no trees. There was no sky and no sun. There was no world at all. It was very, very dark. God said, I'll make a world. And so God made the world. He made the world long, long ago. God said, let there be light. And there was light. God called the light day. He called the dark time night. God saw the light that he had made. He said, this is good. Then God said, I'll make the skies. God made the sky. He made the sky blue and put white clouds in it to hold the rain. God said, I'll make the seas and lakes, the rivers and dry land. God made the seas and the lakes and rivers. After that, he made the dry land. God called the land earth. He put the land in some places. He put the seas and lakes and rivers in other places. God saw the water and the land. He said, this is good. Then God began to make things to grow on the earth. God said, let there be grass. And there was grass. God said, let there be trees. And there were trees. The grass and the trees made the earth green and bright. God said, let there be plants and flowers. And there were plants and flowers. God made red flowers and white flowers and yellow flowers. God made plants and flowers of every shape and color. God saw that the flowers made the earth very pretty, and the plants grew good things to eat. God said, this is good. God said, let there be lights to shine in the sky. God made the sun. God made the moon. He made the stars too. God put them in the sky, the sun to shine in the day, and the moon and the stars to shine at night. God saw the sun, the moon, and the stars. God said, this is good. Then God said, let there be birds to fly in the sky. Let there be fish to swim in the seas, the lakes, and the rivers. God made whales and every animal that lives in the water. Then God said, let there be animals on the earth. He made animals that hop and animals that jump. God made animals that walk and animals that crawl. Have many little ones, he said to all the animals. Now the world was ready for a people. God said, I'll make a man. I'll make him like myself. I'll have him rule over the earth. So God made the first man. God made him from clay he took from the earth, breathed on him, and called him Adam. God made him a little like himself. God said to him, you shall rule over the earth and everything that walks or crawls or swims or flies. Then God planted a garden. It was a very pretty garden. God planted grass and trees and flowers in it. He gave the garden to Adam. It was Adam's home, and he was to look after it. God took all the animals to Adam. God said, give each one a name. So Adam began to name the animals. God had made a little animal that had a house on its back. Adam named it Turtle. God had made a very tall animal with a long, long neck. Adam named it Giraffe. God had made an animal with long ears and a little round tail. Adam named it Rabbit. God had made a very big animal that looked like it had two tails. Adam named it Elephant. And Adam named the frog and the fox, the horse and the bear. He named every animal that God had made. All the animals came in twos, but Adam was all alone. There were no other people. God said, it is not good for man to be alone. So God made a lady. He brought her to Adam. Adam named the lady Eve. God made Adam and Eve to live together. That's why people get married and have families. God blessed Adam and Eve and said, "Have children and grandchildren, let people fill the earth and rule it." In 6 days God had made the world. On the seventh day he rested from all his work. God saw all the things he had made, and God said, "This is very good." The end.
Hello, welcome to crafts for today. So today we actually have 2 different crafts for you to do. One of them is fairly easy, so we thought we'd do a second one. Since we have creation, so you'll have a paper that looks like this here. What you're going to do with this one, it's really easy. Just color it all in, and then we're going to cut it out. You can get your parent to help you cut it out, and then we can fold it all up. Okay, so once you've colored that, you're going to cut it out, or again, you can get a parent to help you. Okay, so once it's cut out, then you can just fold it in accordion style. So we're just going to fold and just keep going till you're at the end. All right, and then you're done. You can either leave it laying down or it can stand up, whatever you prefer. The next craft that we have, you notice you had 2 circles and one of these little gold things. It's called a brad. So first you're going to just color the circles, and then we'll cut them out after. Okay, so for this one, once you have your pieces colored, and all you're going to do is there's a circle right in the middle there. You're going to take your brad, you're going to poke a hole through it very carefully, and then you're going to do the same thing just right in the middle of the other one, and then you flip it over, and you're just going to push those down like so. And then you can flip through your days. You can start out one, and there you go. And then you've done your craft for creation. We'll hope to see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks, Melissa. Uptown Kids, I want to see your craft. Can I see it? Wow, that looks great. This one's mine. My favorite colors that I used are the purple for the fish and the blue for my birds. I love the animals that God created. What's your favorite part of God's creation? I love that. Before we say goodbye, let's head on over to Talia for one last song. Let's go!
Welcome back, you guys. You did so awesome on our first song. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. I asked my friend Samantha to record a new song for us called One Way. So she's going to be playing the guitar and singing for us, and I'm going to do some actions for you. I'm not going to go over all of them because there's a lot of them, and they can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but try your best. We're going to do this one again next week, so don't worry if you don't get them all right. We're going to come back to them, okay? So it's called One Way. So try it with me. Try to follow along.
Down at your feet, you're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I see. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you.
Here we go.
One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You were always, always there, every how and everywhere. Your grace is found so deeply within me.
so good.
You will never ever change. Yesterday, today, the same. Forever till forever meets no end.
Here we go.
One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you.
Doing so good.
You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you.
One more time.
You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for.
Awesome job, you guys. You did such a great job. I know there was a lot of actions there. You did such a good job trying to follow along. I loved getting to see you worship. I will be back next week to teach you some new songs, and we'll do some old ones again. See you next week.
Well, Uptown Kids, there you have it. I have loved the time that we had together today.
I can't wait to do it again next week.
Before we go, why don't we say our Bible verse one more time? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Genesis 1:1.
Let's practice this verse throughout our week. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.